Y'all doing all right? Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope you all are doing well. Guys, welcome. Let's give you a little. That's a little better, right? Guys, welcome to you. My name is Yonder. So good to see you. Good Lord. Can't tell you how awesome it is to be here with you all. Every one of you. Guys, I'm going to cook some food, but I figured I would just pop in here with you guys for a moment and we'd do a little chilling. We'd do a little turbo chill here. A little turbo chill action. Welcome to you. Thank you all for being here. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and also just click the notification bell if you want to be notified. What's up, Jade? If you want to be notified when we go live or when we post a new video like we did today. The new episode of the podcast is out. I don't know if you guys have done the podcast listen yet. If you haven't listened to the podcast, now would be a good time to do that. But until then, a word from our sponsors. You can't believe how realistic this looks because it's totally fake. 100% of this is fake. And you just wouldn't believe how realistic it looks. There's visual effects, the digital effects out of Austin, Texas, Congress Avenue. We would normally have one of these lights up here. That guy out in the living room as well. Not in the living room, but in the kitchen as well. But not tonight. Not tonight. We're doing super chill, super simple, super duper chill. Oh, not that light, this light. Yeah, I mean, the lighting's fine in here. And mainly, all I'm going to be doing is sauteing onions. I'm going to do a little steak. I'm going to chop the onions first. Jade, it's just us in here, buddy. That's all right. I vacuum sealed my steak, which if you notice, it's starting to in certain spots. And this doesn't mean it's bad. This is just like a lot of the moisture is coming out of it. So we're getting that steak cooked before it has a chance to go bad. That's a decent sized onion. And I'm also going to be throwing in a mess of mushrooms. You know what, maybe we'll do a little salad as well. I'm going to put some mushrooms in there. I kind of need a phone to monitor the chat so I can see what Jade here is saying. Dude, that drive for all the members the other night that the great Nicholas Satch Scarboni dropped on us was incredible, man. Helping me make my YouTube quota for this coming month already, which is incredible. By the way, Jade, did you get a notification for this? Or did you just happen to pop in and see we were live? Because I'm curious how the notifications are working. There we go. Now I can see the chat. First, I'm going to go ahead and get this chopping done. Hell yeah, well, that's good to know, Jade. I honestly wasn't planning on going live tonight, but figure for just a few moments while we're cooking, may as well. I'm not going to bother anybody doing this. I got the downstairs to myself tonight, so I don't have to worry about disrupting anyone's life in any way. We did some filming today on the Nighthawks movie, which was really cool. So all my co-workers got to be in it, which I love. That's awesome. Pretty much like us doing stand-up, and I didn't do good. Like my little stand-up portion was bad, but what can you do? It's kind of often been bad lately. Not a whole lot can be done about that. I'm making an effort to cut these onions a bit larger than I usually cut my onions, because I want those big hunkin' steak pieces. You know? Onion fit for a steak. So now what we can do is start getting the heat going in there. I'm not gonna need to make my hands dirty anymore. We can go ahead and wash them. We're doing good. We're 2 and 2. 2 viewers, 2 likes. I like it when the numbers match. Yeah, we were I kind of talked about it a little bit in VR last night, but I've just recently gotten into the whole vacuum sealing thing, and I honestly think sucking all the air out of the steak also kind of makes the moisture flee from it. Which might have resulted in a little discoloration of the meat, which I don't mind this. I kind of think of steaks a little better once it starts turning. You guys were paying attention the last time we re-upped our bacon grease a good bit here. So I'm going to be using that and the butter. In the pan. Is there a? Yes, there is. Why that knife work? How fancy. And I'm going to slice another little bit of butter there. Have that ready, because when I introduce the mushrooms, that's going to need butter as well. And since I've already got it chopped, I can use this knife to scoop me out a little blob of bacon grease, maybe another little blob of bacon grease. Butter here to wipe this bacon grease on the butter. And there, knife is somewhat clean. Hell yeah, Pooter. What's up, Steve? Good to see y'all. Hell yeah. So, the steak resting. That bacon grease already smelling nice nice. I'm gonna give it just a second to get comfortable with that heat. Ooh. A little garlic. I got the Hill Country Farms, or Hill Country Fair. They had to change it from farm. Hill Country Fair. It could have always been fair, but I swear I believe it was farm. There's a big old goober bouncing around there. I don't want that whole thing, but just one more little notch. There we go. So that sound means that sound means we're ready for some onions, I believe. Do its thing. Oh, you know what? Before I wash this knife, I'm gonna need to cut that steak open. I'll just leave this right here in the sink. Once I turn around again, in just a second, it'll be time to give these onions a toss. I remember seeing the whole, like, you know, flip the pan to, instead of stirring. All the chefs on Food Network used to do that. And I got obsessed with looking like a chef before I got obsessed with cooking good. So, instead of opting for the stir, I like to just toss and break up that way. Lost one. Get back in there. Technically lost two. Salvage one though. That's good for now. And need to get the steak out of that packaging wrap. And get it to drying out on a plate here. Favorite plate. I can just go right on in here with it. Smells good. Extract that out too. It's just got a bunch of those packages from yesterday that I opened up and vacuum sealed around the can. I need to put that out before it gets to smell them. Hope you guys are all doing well here on this wonderful Wednesday morning. So we're gonna do top with this. Bottom with this. Something I like to do. You gotta get your steak dry, which I know is I just pooted. I noted it's a thing about moisture and juice. You want to keep a juicy steak. Oh yeah. Maybe I got started a little too soon on that because I'm gonna need this steak to. It'll be all right. It'll only take this steak a couple minutes to do its thing. Oh yeah, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for being here. We got 6 of us watching, only 3 thumbs up. We need to fix that. But if you don't, I guess there's nothing I can do. But you know, I figured I'd ask. I guess now would be a good time to wash these mushrooms. See, for this meal, the steak cost me about $8. Mushrooms are $2. The onion is probably about 50 cents, give or take. And then I may make a thing of instant mashed taters with it. Which, instant mashed potatoes, I don't know if you guys know, they're pretty much free. Alright, I'm going to pull the heat off of this, go in with the rest of this big slab of butter here. Now the mushrooms get a nice little home in there. The old one-handed stir. Incorporate it all together real nice like that. We almost lost one, but we didn't. I'm gonna let this do its thing. I'm pulling the heat down even a little more on that. Something about this too. This little piece of hair to the side came out of the back. It's driving me crazy. Look. You know what? While I got it down, yeah. Yeah. It's just gonna be proper sauteed by the time I get the steak done. So I could probably go back in there. You go back in there. This should be enough moisture out of the steak. And I'm gonna do pepper. Which I kind of overdo pepper on my own steaks. Same with the salt. Hell yeah. Yeah, I thought about coming home and just making something super quick and jumping on some Hogwarts Legacy, but I've been taking the easy way out lately with just cooking something quick. And to be honest, like those meals, the pizzas with the French fries in the air fryer, kind of wanted to reserve those meals for when I like didn't have real food to prepare. And I just needed something quick. Got home too late. Needed to get up super early. All right. Now, steak is seasoned. Now I need to get that grill hot. Boy, oh boy, it's good to see you. What's up, Jason? Thank you all for being here. Guys, make sure to like the video. It costs you absolutely nothing. And if you want to help out a little bit, you can tip Frankie. Frankie's actually here. Say hey, Frankie. Frankie came out here with us. Cut the grill on. We'll be right back. Just realized the grill's messed up and nobody told me. Fucking goddamn it, dude. It's fucking aggravating, bro. Like, I can't play. I just want to know, dude. I just want to fucking know. Like, it's not. It's so much more of a big deal when you find something broken. God damn it, dude. Fucking A. It's just a thing. I'm probably gonna need a new grill. It's so annoying, dude. Hey guys, sorry. We do need a Frankie emoji. Oh, don't be worried about the onions, Steve. I have a Traeger, Steve. I want propane. Thank you, though. Go throw this steak on here. Come on, man. Grumpy. Traegers aren't very good for the kind of cooking that I do a lot. I need quick heat. Traegers are not quick. It's just, it's aggravating when you stumble upon something that you could have known about prior. It's like the whole thing, like when you're a kid, if you break something and then put it back and wait for somebody to find it and ask what happened, you get in so much more trouble than if you just say, hey, this thing's broke. I'm sorry. This is what happened. So now is a good time for some salt and pepper. This is something I was talking about on my podcast the other day. Like I gotta stop believing that people are the same as me, you know. Not everybody else is gonna do the same things that I do. And I shouldn't expect them to do that. But I still do, and that's something I need to work on. This is just me working on that shit that I was talking about in the podcast in real time. Stop expecting everybody else to know what's going on in my own mind. Pull the heat off of this. Take it off the heat real quick with the steak. Hold on. Every time I see it, dude, it just fucking makes me mad. I miss when Lee and Perrins came with that paper. Now back to the heat. And I do feel like I'm gonna do some mashed potatoes. So. High heat. So what happens is there are these little triangular grates that go over the burner on the propane grill that I like to use. And one of those grates is just caved in on the shit. But yeah, I don't know. You didn't know it had happened. Sorry. Could have just done this inside on the cast iron. It probably would have turned out better, but then I wouldn't know about the grill. Take the heat all the way off that. I just want to keep it warm. Good. this nonsense, good Lord. I think I'm fucking my steak up, but who cares? I'm the one eating it. Sorry, I just turned into a curmudgeon complainer out of nowhere. Sorry. Steak. Pretty good. I'm okay. It's okay. This one's going to be a members only video. You know? Hell yeah. I was also talking about stainless steel cookware and steel wool. I mean, this is before I cleaned this pan, but look at it. I mean, there was all kinds of shit stuck on the bottom of this pan before I hit it with that steel wool. Not anymore. See, it was cooking mushrooms and onions just a moment ago, and now it's clean and ready for the pantry. That water's starting to boil. most of it, right? 2 cups of boiling water. This is just boiled water. We'll leave it in there to cool off. Water first. Same for you. All you had was boiling water. Cool off in there. Now, fork. Ooh, look at all that flavor from the onions and mushrooms in there. That plus butter, salt, pepper, and these are roast garlic mashed potatoes. But I'm making sure that we get the point, hit it with a little bit more garlic and onion powder, you ask? Well, nope. We're not hitting it with onion powder. We're going to drain just some of that juice from the steak, onions, and mushrooms. And we're stirring the shit out of it. What do you guys think? Should we add some bacon bits and some cheese to it, or just leave it regular? What do you guys think? Bacon bits and cheese? We need to know now. Because if we don't do it now, it won't be hot enough to melt the cheese right. This is just what it's like. Having oil on your face at all times. Do it? All right. Jade saying do it's all we needed. Done a salad. I got salad stuff too, but it's too late for a salad now. It's time for food. Cheese and little bacon bits. No sour cream allowed in this house. There's some in here, I just hate it. This might be one of the rare times I have a sort of sauce with my steak. Because you never know. My knife. My favorite knife. And also, I'm gonna need to fill this jug again. There wasn't enough left in it. It's probably time to get another one of those filters too. I don't think I have one. It's time. It's the 6-month filter. There we go. Ooh. The potatoes are good. And I knew it before I tasted them. I want to try these onions and mushrooms by themselves first. Hell yeah. Don't need sauce. I mean, for instant mashed potatoes, look at that. That looks pretty good, right? Yeah, the steak's more done than I wanted it to be, but I was dealing with the grill. I'm gonna scoop up some of these mashed potatoes with the steak. You know what? I'm actually gonna do. I overcooked the steak. I'm gonna make a sauce, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make my steak sauce. Is that cool with you? You wanna see how I make my steak sauce? Well, here it is. Oh, you couldn't hear that fart. That was gonna be hilarious. So, need a small ramekin, glass bowl. Ingredients are ketchup, 1 part, mustard, 1 part, A1 sauce, so that's probably 1 part A1, 1 part ketchup, 1 part mustard, which I know, hold on, that should be enough. Oh my God. Just for good measure. Just for good measure. Give it a little. Bloop. That's definitely enough. Worcestershire sauce. Yep. And then Lawry's seasoned salt. Just like bam. Just barely enough. There we go. Like 2 or 3 little spurts. It wasn't shaking out every time I was trying it. I was trying to get it right to the edge to get the right amount out. Couple little spurts of pepper. And then clean up the splashes of A1 sauce there. And then once you get to all of this, you stir that bit, and then it'll come to about the consistency and color of Heinz 57. You see? And then onions, mushrooms, steak in the sauce. And that's my steak sauce. Yep, that's so good. I used to go get the cheapest steaks I could find just so I would have something to eat that sauce with. I'm even gonna hit in the mashed potatoes with it a little bit because it's good. Mashed potatoes don't need it though. What's up, alien? But because I cooked the steak too much, like it's, I mean, look at this. Look at that. It's a little too done to my liking. And don't get me wrong, the flavor's there. Like, it's a good, flavorful steak. But the sauce helps. Yeah, it's juicy, nice and moist. You know what I could do? I have everything that I need to make my birthday cake that I never made. But do I want to do that at 2 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. I'm getting a nice little chunk of this corner here. I mean, because I think all I really need are the eggs, which I've got. And I think vegetable oil, which I think I have canola oil, which would also work. What do you guys think? No. I had a much better crock pot than that, but somehow it fell off the top of the refrigerator somehow, mysteriously. And that was the one that was bought to replace it. I had a really nice crock pot though. It was bigger than that one, and it had more bells and whistles. I like Lawry's seasoning salt. Hell yeah. You get a wrench. Welcome to you. 9 a.m. in Croatia. Hope you're having a good morning so far. Hagrid eating a steak. Should that be the title of this video? Maybe we do that. You want to bake a cake? We'll bake a cake. I'm just making sure that we're not dying yet. Now to my favorite part of the steak, that outer strip on the ribeye. Oh God, it's so good. Build a cake. I built you a cake. We'll do that. And while we're waiting for it, we'll just hang out and chit chat. It certainly isn't a playhouse for the children. What's he building in there? He doesn't have any friends, but he gets a lot of mail. What's he building in there? There's cleaning supplies under the sink, of course. There's also enough formaldehyde to choke a horse. Emo, we're not making angel food cake. I appreciate the suggestion. We are instead making my favorite cake, since this was supposed to be my birthday cake that I never made. And you know what? I'm gonna leave you guys dangling on what kind of cake it is. I'll let you guess in the comments as to what kind of cake you think we're gonna make. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. It comes out of a box, and the icing comes out of a jar. Nah, we ain't doing no Hostess cake. Betty Cocker. Is that Joe Cocker's wife? My birthday was the 14th. Want the rest of this. Mashed taters. It is not a cheesecake. And if you haven't guessed it by now, you're not gonna. The cake we're gonna make. Any last guesses? I'll give you. And it's a Duncan Hines brand. Not praline, not funfetti. This is a classic. An old school classic. Ding, ding, ding. Red velvet. My favorite cake. My favorite cake. Red velvet. Oh, yeah. And of course, the red velvet cake always comes with cream cheese frosting. And for those of you who don't know, red velvet is a chocolate cake. And them scissors need sharpening. 1 cup of water. These 3 large eggs and a half a cup of vegetable oil. Canola oil it is. There's that. And with baking, things should be exact. Actually need this. I need to wash my hands. right? 350. Yeah. I'm using this. Gotta make sure to get that off of it. There we go. Now, trying to make sure these are bubbles and not big clumps of batter. I'm supposed to spray this with cooking oil, but since we don't have that, we're gonna use regular oil. Ooh, should I do butter? Actually, this butter's kind of softened up a little bit, so I'm gonna use this. This butter ain't hitting these corners like I need them to. Well, I'll tell you what, the bottom of this cake is going to be incredible. You can stay there for now. Now, the perfect tool to get the rest of that out of there. There's also the thing we're going to need to spread the icing. These little silicone things are really good at getting all of the batter out of here. Blood cake. That little bit of batter is not going to make a difference. Now, well, we got the blood velvet, that's right. Now, this is going in the dishwasher. Now let's get to washing these dishes while we're waiting on the oven to preheat. Hope you all are doing well. Please like the video. Knife. Yep. My favorite knife. It reminds me of those throwing knives you get. Like those just one solid piece. Preheated oven. Perfect timing. So we carefully center rack for 24 minutes. I need to set that timer on here too. silicone spreader because we're going to need that. For the icing. Dry right there. Mixing bowl, easy to clean. Nothing really sticks to them. Oh, I need to clean the outside of this too because I was using it to crack an egg. And they're dry. Mashed potatoes and the cheese and the bacon. Last bite. Clear some space in here. That'll work. And we'll do our best to wrap this little melted, pitiful glob of butter back up. To put it back in here. Now we have a knife with which to cut the cake. There. We have a fork. With which to eat the cake. Also, there. Now we have all of our spare paper towels. I leave paper towels sitting around. My grandmother used to always do that. It's a thing that I don't know if it's genetic. I just picked up from her, but after I get done cooking, I'm done using all of the surfaces, I take those paper towels that I just let sit around and pile up on the counter whilst I was cooking. And I go around and hit all of the surfaces that I used while cooking. And leave the space better than I found it. Let me go put this trash bag in the thing. Already starting to smell. So we got 17 minutes of wait time left. This is trash. Canola oil can go back in here. This A1 steak sauce bottle. You know what? They wouldn't be able to use this for recycling anyway because of all of the food substances that are stuck in it. Uh-oh, gas station fill, watch out. Yep. So that's at 1527. All right. Y'all hear that? Oh, hey, fancy meeting you here. Hold on a minute. All right, give me just a second to get situated here. I need to get my computer cranked up. I need to shed these work clothes, get comfortable, and get these devices plugged in so that they do not die. glasses are cleaned. Gotta keep the glasses clean. Ugh. Man, that's nice. Nice and cool feeling. Okay. Oh, and this is even nicer, dude. Whoa. It don't get much better than that right there. Just coming home and putting on comfortable jammers. Oh, I feel you in this house, Lord. Oh, I feel you in this house, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Crank up this spaceship. That's what it feels like when I'm turning my computer on. You get the computer, the mixer, the speaker, the TV. Everything has its own button to wake it up. Wake up the hamster. Okay, now let's get this device. Bloop. And this device. Bloop. Okay, computer is cranked. Ooh, that was a nice little back crack. I don't know if y'all could hear that come through. Damn, Senator J.D. Vance on Theo Vaughn's podcast 17 hours ago. What was I gonna do? Oh. This monitor is so big that I have to look over here for this side and over here for the other. It's fucking massive. 40-inch monitor. Hell yes. Is there any? Oh no, just that. Okay. So I'm kind of learning that you don't get any real. I don't think you get any monetization from when it's live. I think that only occurs after the live stream is ended. Which I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, not sure how I feel about that. Doesn't make sense, does it? Oh yeah, I gotta open up that's why I opened this up, so I could see what you guys were saying. I just got distracted. ADD, ICHI, Yes, let's view my channel. Let's watch this thing. Channel, let's watch this thing. Oh, there we go. Hell yeah, you like them nice wizard tits, Rhino? You enjoy that? You like that sort of thing? I don't judge. You like that sort of thing? Hell yeah, Roadkill, that's what we're here for, dog. That's why we do this. That's why we do this. Hell yeah. Speaking of which, why don't we? Why don't we go for it there? How about we just go full Merlin? Hell yeah, Ernest Goes to Coachella would be hilarious. We're down here talking to them. Oh, and there's hippie girls with hairy underarms, and good Lord. Know what I mean, Vern? I watched a video on Ernest. I was a huge Jim Varney guy. Jim Varney ruled, man. He was, you know, that he was a commercial guy. He was just like a dude who would show up in commercials. He was just a random he was just a random dude who got hired to sell like some product, and then someone else hired him to sell another product, and that just continued to go and built into this entire character of Ernest P. Worrell and Vern, his neighbor. He would just annoy his neighbor Vern. That was how it all started out, was that he was just trying to annoy Vern with just these products. You having trouble getting that stuck on grease out of your pan? Then use Comet. You know what I mean, Vern? That's how he started. That was crazy that he got an entire career. He already had a career. He was a commercial guy. Like, that's working. That's a working actor. Commercials are not. That's working. But man, to get like a movie career out of it, and then to become Jim Varney, he became Ernest P. Worrell. Wasn't it, Mocha? I agree. That's awesome, Steve. I may have had that, and I would tear things up because I didn't know how to respect anything when I was a kid, because I was dumb, because I was stupid. But what can you do? Cable Guy had similar vibe, but Cable Guy went really dark. I don't think there was anything dark about Ernest. Ernest was very much playful and non-threatening at all. Cable Guy was very threatening. Ernest was just like, it was just like Ernest Goes to Africa. Nuts. Ernest, I remember Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp. And I love how they just made all of the movies Ernest Goes to, because you already knew who Ernest was, and it was just him on the, like, it just, Him and that big dumb face. Oh yeah, Jim Varney and Jim Carrey both were huge on using their face to get a laugh. Cable Guy could have been inspired by that character, though, for sure. I wouldn't put that past him. We got 3 minutes, and then we got to pull that cake out of the oven. And then we got to let it sit for a while and cool before we fully ice it. Because I want to ice the cake while it's still hot, because I enjoy warm cake. But that'll be a game time decision. It usually doesn't, the icing won't spread properly. Wilder Napalm. Hell yeah. Jim Varney, for the younger crowd, was the voice for Slink in Toy Story as well. He was the original voice for Slink. And he had an incredible singing voice. And he was a very accomplished stage actor as well, like a Broadway type. Like there's videos of him doing Hamlet and like putting the voice on and everything. Like he was good. He was funny. He was talented. And he is missed. One thing Keanu Reeves said was like, "What do you think's gonna happen when what will happen when you die?" And he says the most brilliant line of, "I think that those who love us will miss us." And that would just the whole crowd like, "Oh, Keanu melted my heart." Oh, the whole crowd did that. He melted an entire room full of people's hearts. All right. I'm going to just kill that. Well, let's bring this stand in here. Because I should be getting that buzzer going off any second now. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Cancel. Let's put this here. Yeah. And we've got the I'm going to open this up and leave it open. And unwrap this towel here. And come on now, will you? I'll do the simple trick through the center. Oh, not quite yet. There's still some in there. So we're going right back in for just a couple more minutes. Not enough time for us to walk back here. And turn this alarm off that I thought I canceled. Stop. Hell yeah, a skirt commercial. Nah, dude, this is me being fucking comfortable up in my house. Commercial. I wonder how much longer I should leave that thing in there. Opening it up pulls a lot of the heat out of the oven. So maybe another minute or so. Yeah. That's the trick. You got to put something in the cake to see if it comes out with batter still on it. The toothpick test. Man, I wonder how long it needs to rest. Because it was cooked from the top down. It was just right on the bottom. Right on the bottom, it was still a little moist. So I've probably been sitting here for at least, it's been back in there for at least like 2 minutes. So I think I'm gonna say 3, and I think that I don't want to keep pulling this thing in and out of the oven. I ain't no pervert. I don't want to keep pulling it in and out. You know, I ain't no pervert. But I feel like it might be ready. Yep, it's ready now. Sit this icing right next to that cake. We're gonna let it sit for until I feel like it's been enough time. And then we'll come back out and we'll ice that fucker. But it just came out of a super hot oven. So we'll, yeah. Cover it towards the end to keep freshness. No, I haven't done that. Maybe I should. Oh yeah, that's another way to say it. Oh, 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes to cool off. But like I said, I want my cake to be a little warm. So I don't always, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the icing and I'll put it in the microwave for a second just to zap it and heat it up and then just pour it over the whole cake. Like I get it just cool enough on the top to be able to hold together while I put the icing on. But I'm impatient today. Uh, I'm impatient today, so I may end up pulling a little bit of the top off when I spread it. But if you heat it up for a second right before you put it on there, that's why I opened the icing and sat it. And I realized you couldn't see what I was doing with that angle. I opened the icing and I sat it right next to the cake, so that by the time I go back in there, it'll already be kind of warm and separating from the side of the jar. And when I drop it into the microwave for like 15 seconds, if that, then it'll mostly just pour out because I need that whole thing for that whole cake. And then we'll be able to try a piece. I love cake. I knew I was going to want to do something like that. But I wanted to do it the other day. I just didn't. I took it easy. I went and bought food instead of cooking food. I meant to do that the night that I made all the breakfast. We were going to do it all one big stream. But instead of that, I went and got Chinese food. And I ate all the Chinese food. Man, it was incredible. I've also really been craving Japanese hibachi, man. I've really been craving that because there's a nice little hibachi truck close to my house, and it's pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean it's available here where nothing else really is. Um, the Chinese food that I got was I got two entrees. I got sesame chicken with pork fry, or yeah, with fried rice. I don't know if I think regular is just pork fried rice. It might be chicken fried rice, but I'm not sure. Sesame chicken with fried rice. I also got beef and broccoli with fried rice, and I got a thing of lo mein, pork lo mein. I ate half of the beef and broccoli, half of the sesame chicken, and most of the lo mein. And then I combined it all into one big. I combined it all into one box, and then had the rest of that later on. A little midnight snack. Well, my midnight snack's usually at 6 in the morning. But yeah, dude, it was so good. And then I got Raising Cane's, and then I got Tyson's Tacos. So I kind of splurged a little bit on my food, which sucks because I didn't really need to be spending money like that. But you get this thing sometimes in your mind that goes, "Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've had this. I've done good, so now I deserve to reward myself with that thing that I hadn't been doing." Jason, I don't mean to spoil it for you, but brother, I don't know that I've ever seen a Chinese buffet that I didn't like. And I'm here to tell you, dude, because I grew up in Bennettsville, South Carolina. We had one Chinese buffet when I was growing up, and they could have. Y'all hear that? Man, they could have. I don't know. They could have done anything on that today. It was good. It was so good. It was called the Golden Run. There was another one called Jin Jin's, but Jin Jin's was uptown, and people used to talk trash about Jin Jin's. Um, um, People used to say, "Oh, they cook cats at Jin Jin's," and I remember going there and just having that stigma in my mind when I went, but it was good. So they were all good. I love Chinese food. But dude, here's the thing. I know that they're nasty, but I'm here to tell you that there are places that the food is good, and you'll have like D Heck go in there and say, "Oh, this place is too dirty. This place is too dirty. Don't ever eat there. Whatever you do, don't ever eat there." And they'll give them a bad uh, they'll give them a bad review or whatever, and say, "Okay, you got to redo everything. All of this doesn't meet code. You got to redo everything." And then everything will be pristine, everything will be beautifully clean, and the food won't be as good. Never is. Anytime that happens, the food's never as good. But I'll tell you the rules to a great Chinese place. I think I've already gone through this. The rule to a great Chinese place, rule number one, you're going to find this place in a strip mall. That's rule number one. It will be located in a strip mall. Rarely ever is it a standalone store, a standalone restaurant. Could be, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be in a strip mall. Rule number two, has to have the word China, in the title. In the name of the place, and I don't mean Chinese, it has to have the word China. China Chef, China Kitchen, China Wok, China Style. It has to have the word China. China Dragon. Also, honorable mention if it has the word dragon in the title. Usually that means good things. And rule number three, and you can take this one to the bank. Rule number three, great Chinese restaurant, is when you walk into the restaurant to pick up your food, no matter what time of day it is, there will always be Chinese children sitting at one of the booths doing homework. Them's the three rules. If it checks all three of them boxes, you're about to get some banging ass Chinese food. And I call it something that sounds derogatory because everybody's like, "Oh, you like those kind of places?" And I'm like, "Yes, I like the dirty place." It's, they're just, them's the rules. If it checks all three of those boxes, you're gonna. If it checks off all three of those boxes, you got a good Chinese place. Now, tell me, did I not just describe everyone's favorite Chinese place to them just now? And there's several to choose from, but that's the one that's the best. And dude, that's another thing is they always take pride, and they always take pride in these places. You never walk in and think, "Oh, this is dirty." All of them look like overly clean. Like the showroom is like he says they're always vacuuming. I bet that every single one of them that you walk into, you don't ever walk in thinking, "Wow, this is disgusting." They're usually pretty clean. Oh yeah, 100%. Like the only time they don't have to fry chicken wings or egg rolls is when they're doing their homework. So they take their time doing their homework. And oftentimes the child will have to translate. And I'm not saying any of this in a negative manner. I don't ever want that to be what you pick up from this. I'm speaking like in a loving sense about these things. Sometimes they'll be working the register. I remember the growing up, like I remember when the family that owned the Chinese place in my town. I remember that was always our Friday night thing. We would go get Chinese food every Friday night. And by the way, that Friday night is Chinese food night for everybody. I don't know how, but that's how it is, right? Everybody in the family, you go out to the Chinese buffet on Friday night, right? Tell me I'm wrong now, because I bet you won't, because I know I'm right. Every Friday, we go down there, and I grew up watching these. I remember when the babies would be over in the stroller, and the mom would be on the register, and she would be doing the stroller back and forth, and just doing the register. And like I remember that, and then I remember like going there on up through high school, and the same family. Like I remember the kids getting old enough to be running the register themselves. Like there's the culture is unmatched. Like the culture of like creating good humans is bar none, just is superior. And it might upset some people to hear that, but that's the truth. It's just it's far superior. uh, and that's just simply all there is to it, man. Yeah. But that's just them's the rules, and they were good. It was called the Golden Run when that family bought it. It was something else before that. God, I wish I could remember the name. My Ken Louie was the owner, and he eventually went on to be a cop, a Bennettsville cop. But I forget what it was called, man. um, oh, China not in a name? Well, I will say that if there's a variation, here's the thing: if China is not in the name, then panda or dragon must be. Because there was one that broke that rule back home, and this one broke a lot of rules. It wasn't a strip mall, but it had a drive-through as well, and it also had uh, like there wasn't a family, like there was rarely families sitting around the place. It was always empty when you'd walk in there, but it was beautiful. Like everything was shiny, everything looked porcelain. And this was the first place that I knew that they literally just they hired a redneck. Like just this old woman. Thank you for calling. It was Lucky Panda. Thank you for calling Lucky Panda. Could I take your order, please? You want the sesame chicken and the egg roll? You want the combo platter? Okay. Okay, and you want the extra egg rolls? Okay, and beef and broccoli, you want a quart or a pint? Quart or pint? Okay, a quart. Okay. Okay, and you want 4 extra egg rolls, okay? Okay, 4 extra egg rolls. All right. Okay. Now that's just 4 extra. Sounds like you're. Oh, it's just you. Okay. Okay. No, no, ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. You want me to throw some extra duck sauces in there with you? Some extra duck sauces and soy. Some duck sauce and soy. You want me to throw some in there for you? Okay. All right. And is that it? Okay, yeah, Port Lo Maine. You want pint or quart? Quart. All right. All right, and all right, that's so. If I'm gonna keep all this together now, you want one sesame chicken combination platter, one quart beef and broccoli with white rice, and then one quart lo mein, pork lo mein, and then 4 extra egg rolls with plenty of duck sauces and soy sauces in there for you. And that's it. Please let that be it. Okay, and then an order of 4 Chinese donuts. All right. We'll have that ready about 25 minutes. And then you pull up to the drive-through or whatever, and then it's that same woman. Hi, I had a pickup for Kelsey. Kelsey, that's a woman's name. Yes, yes, ma'am. I understand. I know. My parents named me Kelsey in Bennettsville, South Carolina, and I grew up with a bunch of rednecks, and they thought that'd be funny. All right, Kelsey, your total's going to be somewhere around $40. Oh, hell. But it was cool. It had a little drive-through and everything. Kelsey. Most people back home pronounced it Kelt-C. K-E-L, like K-E-L-T C or S-E-Y. Kelsey. Kelt. They put a T in it. Like the college football team, Clemson, Clemson, they call it Clemson with a P, Clemson. Kelsey. That's what they called me. Oh no, that's how they say it. Now that was Lucky Panda. Lucky Panda was much cleaner, and like the packaging was cleaner. The whole aesthetic of the place when you walk into it, it was like, wow, this is noticeably cleaner than most places. The other one, the one that I went to the more often, because it was right across, it was closer to my house, and that was my OG. It existed before Lucky Panda. It existed before the strip mall that Lucky Panda was part of existed. But that one was called China Chef. China Chef in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. You can probably Google that sucker. I lived across the street from that fucker for a long time. Bonus points, it was in a Food Lion strip mall. Bonus points if the Chinese place is in a grocery store strip mall. If it's in a regular strip mall, it still counts. But bonus points if it's in a grocery store strip mall. And you have to overlook filth if they're bringing the heat. You have to. Because all their job is to bring the heat. And damn it, most of them places be doing that. Dude, Lucky Panda was good. I'm trying to remember what the Golden Run was called before it was the Golden Run. That was the one back home. I forget. Yeah. And that's how I feel about cooking. The heat's going to kill anything that would hurt you. And I know that's probably not the best. I know that's not the best thing to think, I guess. But I feel like if this shit gets hot enough, man, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. And that's how I feel. Because my granny, everybody in my life smoked cigarettes. The whole time they were doing everything, man. So you saying that Marlboro Light Ash ain't gonna kill anybody? I can confirm. Like, it's just some of the best food you've ever had in your life come from some of the dirtiest places. And as crazy as that may sound, it's kind of the truth. Case in point, food trucks are filthy. Food trucks are disgusting. But if it comes out of a truck, it's good. Them's pretty much the rules. If it comes out of a truck, it's going to be good. And that's what'll keep people coming back. Same thing about McDonald's. And this is something, I saw a video about it yesterday, but it's something I've been saying myself for a long time, is that the reason that McDonald's is as successful as it is not because it's great. It's because it tastes the exact same every time, no matter where you go. Anywhere in the world, a Big Mac tastes like a Big Mac. And it stays the same every single time you go back. Even when it's bad, you know exactly what it's going to taste like bad. You know what stale fries are going to taste like. But every single McDonald's on earth, if you go and order a Big Mac, it's going to taste the same all the way across the board. That's why McDonald's is the #1 restaurant in the world. Consistency. 1,000%. That's why that's a thing. Wendy's salads are good. Listen, Wendy's is good. Wendy's is very good, but Wendy's isn't the same. Wendy's isn't consistent. Wendy's location matters. Burger King, a location matters. Arby's, send it all the way down the board. And no matter what, there's no restaurant has a more consistent flavor for each location across the board than McDonald's. The all-new quarter ouncer. Whoa. Consistency is the biggest goal, 1,000%. That's why I do this with my music. I do the same thing. I don't go too extravagant. I keep it locked down for the most part. I don't make it a point to come out there and whip my dick all the way out every single time. I make it a point not to do that, so that when I do that, it's special. But what I am is I'm very consistent. I'm rarely different than I am every single time. And every single time, like, it's wow, man, this is good. This is hitting the spot. And that's what my intention is to do. McDonald's does that. McDonald's hits the spot. That's what I'm trying to do. Consistency. 1,000%. I've been sitting here for how many minutes you guys think since we let that cake starts simmering. Has it been 20 minutes? It feels like it's been at least 15. Maybe it hasn't. But yeah, dude. McDonald's is consistent. No other restaurant does what it does. That being said, I haven't had McDonald's in some time, and I hadn't had any soft drinks at all. But yesterday I got a Dr. Pepper from Burger King just because I went to Burger King and I wanted a specific thing. I got a Bacon King, which is the best sandwich that Burger King has to offer, in my opinion. It reminds me of the Stackers, the BK Stackers, which were the best. That's the BK Stacker was, in my opinion, the greatest fast food burger probably of all time. In my opinion, it was the most flavorful fast food sandwich of all time. The BK Stacker. I would take it. I would take that if it were on the board. I would probably choose that more often than the rest. Don't get me wrong. I would still want the McDonald's flavor. I would still want the square Wendy's burger from time to time. More often than not, I would pick that BK Stacker. It was so good. But the Big Bacon King is the closest thing that they have to it now, but it's huge. The Stackers were tiny. And you could get them from like a single, double, triple, quad. I just remember thinking, wow, you can get a quad burger for like $4? Yeah. Yeah. BK is right behind a Muslim here. Like there's a Muslim that stands out there all the time and it's behind him. Muslims are good people. I know a few. Sugar ants walking around a spilled milkshake in McDonald's parking lot. That shake was not on their radar. Oh, damn. That's crazy. The Dollar Whoppers was good. Oh, like a mosque. Hey, dude, likely a good Burger King. I love Burger King. My Aunt Marie worked there. Big Burger King guy. You know who else loves Burger King? My friend Brian Holtzman. Let's take a little Jeeb here. Might be time for me to try to acquire some more of this stuff or just take a few days off. Might not hurt to take a few days off. So it's been about a half hour is what we're coming to terms with. Right? I don't care how long it's been. This cake's about to take some fucking icing. You hear that, bitch? You hear me? I'm talking to the cake. You hear me, cake? You about to take some icing. Oh yeah, it's still warm on the bottom, but it's cool enough on the top. Hell yeah, that's exactly where we want it. Beautiful red. I love that. This is the kind of thing I was talking about. This is how I like my cakes to be. Kind of want the icing to sort of soak into the top layer a little bit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now we'll leave that. Now we'll leave that for a little bit. Let that thing do its thing. Yeah. Tap, tap, taparoo. Hell yeah, brother. That's right. They can get stoned pretty easy. Every now and then I get a little bit hungry for a red velvet cake. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff. Um, yeah, open door Yandi. You know, out there on the wall, out there, is a copy of the Declaration of Independence. A framed copy, a framed replica, actually. It's a replica on parchment. Parappa the Rappa. Yeah, dude, Declaration of Independence. I got that. That American flag that's hanging on the wall behind my golf bag. We had a hurricane. I think it was Hurricane Matthew, maybe, or Hurricane Dorian. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Hurricane Matthew, I was live streaming as I was walking from my house down to the water to see what it was like. Uh, I saw that flag in the middle of the road, and flags aren't supposed to touch the ground. Uh, but I saw that flag in the middle of the road, and it was like all beat up like it is. So I picked it up and I brought it home, and I threw it in the washing machine to clean it up, and then I tacked it up next to my door, just like that, in my home, in my apartment back home. uh, yeah. So when I got here, I set my room up pretty much exactly how it was back home. So then when I walk in my room, it just feels like a little piece of my apartment. Like the only difference is back home my bed would have been on this wall, but here my computer is here. And the reason that is because I like to listen to things at a loud volume and have a really nice sound system here. And I'd rather be on this wall farthest away from anybody else. Because like now there's a bathroom in my closet that sound would have to go through to get to my other roommate's room downstairs. But he's not even here. He's not even here tonight. He's staying at his girlfriend's house. And I don't have to police my volume at all. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Pour me something tall and strong. Make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Don't be scared, Pooter. It's just a song lyric. Alan Jackson rules. I like he says I could pay off my tab, pour myself in a cab, and be back at work before 2. But in a moment like this, I can't help but wonder what would Jimmy Buffett do? And then everybody in the song loses their mind because up until that point, it was just an Alan Jackson song. Uh, how does it go? It's like the sun is hot and that old clock is moving slow, and so are you. The workday passes like molasses in wintertime, and it's July. Getting paid by the hour and over by the limit. My boss just pushed, or and over by the minute. My boss just pushed me over the limit. I'd like to call him something, but I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and strong. I like the lyrics of country music. I like lyrics, period, but country lyrics are fun and silly, and I like them. Hell yeah. When I listen to music, um, I'm a big lyric guy. Uh, big lyrics guy. Um, I'll listen to the I'll listen to the lyrics because, as weird as this sounds, like I kind of have such an understanding of music to where the music almost drifts away, and it's almost like I can this sounds insane, but if anybody who's out there who has like a musical ear, I believe might understand what this means. But like, imagine in my mind when I listen to music, I have a Pooter. If you have me for a music guy, you must not have been paying attention these last however long you've been subscribed. I think I overwhelmingly say that I'm a lyrics person, like like a hundred times out of 100. Uh, but yeah, I love. I mean, I love music, but I have such an understanding of music that it kind of keeps me. Uh, it keeps that part of my brain occupied so that I can pull the music or pull the lyrics out of it. But when I listen to it, I can turn down something in my mind or turn up something. Like I have like a mixer in my brain that's like, "Ooh, what's that bass line doing?" And I can just listen to the bass line. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Oh, so the piano's. Oh, so that's not even a bass. That's a piano doing the bass note. Okay, so that's why that sounded odd. Interesting. And then I get distracted. But I will also listen to something several times and like get the full message. But for the first time I listen to something, the words are the first thing I focus on. It's instrumental. That's true. Yeah, music is really just. And I'm bragging about this. This is just. That's how I am. Uh, just having that ability. You see, right? You can do that too. Isn't that incredible? To where you can turn something down. You can turn everything else down and just listen to the guitar, or turn everything else down and just listen to the piano. Just hearing that with a regular song is so cool. But the words are the loudest thing to me always. It's always the lyrics. Turn down Indeed for it. Let's go check on our cake. I figured out this timer, and this timer is called a rant. Like, oh, I needed to wait one.